So currently we're only on month 5, and I may have already found my favorite Transformer of the year. So guys, today we're taking a look at Megatronus the Fallen. He is the 13th of the 13 original Primes, and I gotta say he's one of my favorite releases for Age of the Primes. I only have 2 other figures from this line, but this has gotta be my favorite. I did not think I was gonna collect the Primes. When I heard Megatronus was coming out, I thought, it was gonna be cool. This is gonna be basic, but no, Hasbro actually surprised me for once. They actually made a good figure that wasn't a shitty remold or a repaint or a redeco or whatever the fuck you want to call them nowadays. And seeing this figure gives me hope because next year we're getting 86 Megatron, so hopefully it's gonna be a little bit the same. But enough of that. Let's get into the figure. The figure is good for $60 for being a leader. Very good. And I got this pre tariffs. Thank you, Donald Trump. My Chinese plastic's now more expensive, but it's good quality. It's got really good posability. He comes with 4 flame effects, which I wish he came with more because in the comic that this is pretty clearly based off the IDW comics. His whole body's on fire. He's like the Human Torch, but like as a transformer. He's a very sturdy figure. He can hold up his cannon on his just by himself. It's not technically supposed to be like that, but even when you extend it out fully, like he's a very solid figure, posability wise, and just joint wise. He's very detailed, very articulate. He can get pretty. Yeah, it just depends on his shoulders are very blocky, but you can get them up pretty far, all the way back, full 360. Moving his skirts, he can fucking take it like he goes to Catholic school and he's 9. For all of his accessories, you get his really cool flames that cover most of his body. You get his sword and his little trident spear, and you can put them together and make like this little cool dual weapon. Personally, the only issue I have with it is that it only looks good if he's holding it blade down, spear up. And then also the spear, it's soft plastic, so it's pretty easy to bend. If you get it going one way, it's not going. Like mine is a little bit off, and I kind of dislike that. Other than that, it's still pretty cool. And for his final accessory, you get his Requiem Blaster, which is an ancient Cybertronian artifact made by Solus Prime, who is considered the Prime of the Forge. She pretty much makes like a lot of the ancient Transformers, like artifact weapons that you'll see. And it's more for the transformation, but the little barrel that they give you for the tank, I think just looks so clean on the Requiem Blaster, even if it's not supposed to be like that. It does have, you can fold it in and he can use it as like a little blaster pistol, or you can put it on his back to like kind of look like Megatron's. But honestly, it just looks so much better when it's connected to the cannon or the Requiem Blaster, and it works so well for the tank mode. Speaking of the tank mode, to first start his transformation, you're going to remove all the fire off his body, makes it just a little bit easier. You're going to take his hands, and they're going to pop off like this, and they're just going to go right into his wrists. I have a lot of Transformers who do this. Another one who kind of does it is Optimus Primal. And they're just going to float. They're just going to pop in just like that. They're going to go to his legs. They're going to come down. And his feet. You're going to start with his feet first. You're going to take his fucking calves. They're going to pop right out. They have these little bits on them. They're just going to peg out. Then you're going to fold his feet down. And his calves are just going to pop right back in, and they're going to make his tank treads. Next, his chest is going to pop off, and you are going to try to take his arms and just... They're a little snug, but his arms are going to come... His arm and under chest are going to come right off just like this. And his fucking regular, you can pop it out like this. Fold his chest outwards like this. His chest armor, I should say. And he's going to have 2 little bits right here. They're just going to pop right off like that. They're going to come out. And you're going to be able to swing these out. These are his front treads. Then they're on butterfly joints, I think. So they're going to unfold. Turn around. And plug in, I think. Yep. I have issues transforming this guy. And it's also really light at night for me. And they're just going to pop in just like that. After getting the legs in place, you're going to want to take his chest armor, and you're going to pop it out, rotate it. His head's going to go down right here. It's going to sit in this little cavity. and push the leg bit back. And he's going to have 2 tabs on his treads. They're just going to plug in right there, and that's going to form the front of the vehicle. So next you're going to want to rotate his waist full 180. Then his side skirts are going to pop up, and they're going to go in these little crevices right here. They're just going to stay there, not going to flow. Then if you remember the Bumblebee movie Megatron, joints are just going to pop out just like that. And he's actually going to have little tabs on the sides of his treads, and they will just plug in there, if you can actually get it right. So do that with the one leg, and then just repeat with the second leg. His little bussy, his little bit back here is just going to pop right off. And you're going to want to do a full rotate at the knee. And there's actually going to be little tabs right here that are going to plug in. If you can actually, do it right and you're not fucking tired like I am. Like I said, just do that with the other leg. And there's that part of the tank done. Flip him upside down, and you're going to notice that he has 2 tabs right here on his front chest. And they're just going to plug into the sides of his feet. Just get them in good like that. Now the base of the tank, you're going to want to take his arms, and it can be a little iffy sometimes, depending on how you do it. I don't fully remember how. You're just going to take them, rotate them like this. Easier to take off the Requiem Blaster. Move his arms back like that. Rotate them again like this. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take the Requiem Blaster. You're going to extend it all the way out so it can form his little big tank barrel. And his gun is just going to go right here. For some reason, it says to go in the screw caps on like the instructions, but it's weird. I don't know, unless I'm just doing it wrong. But I'm sorry, I am doing it wrong. So you're going to want to make it so he has 2 yellow lines on his shoulder, and they're pretty much just going to be facing up the whole time. If I can actually get this in without wanting to blow my head off. So after finagling with it, his wrists, the guards are going to be pointing out to the side. Make sure his missile pods are pretty much sticking up. Then you're going to want to take the gun. It's going to plug in these little ports right here under his arm. And it's going to go together just like this, if I can actually get it to go. And boom! Here we have Megatronus the Fallen in his tank mode. Now, as far as I know, this is accurate. I never read the IDW comics, but it's pretty decently in scale. And for his flame parts, for his flames, you can get a pretty good even spread, or you can put them on like the sides and everything. And then also he's got pretty good weapon storage. You can either do 1 weapon on each front guard, or just one big just like this on the side. Personally, I think it looks better with 1 each. And then his head's a little poking down there. But overall, he's a pretty good tank. What makes him stand out for me more than other Hasbro tanks is, for once, he has wheels. Not just little plastic fucking discs, like actual movable, rollable wheels. They weren't cheap with the budget. This is where all the budget for Age of the Primes went, is into this one guy, and I can already tell some of the other figures are kind of lacking. Looking at other videos, Prime versus Prime, that little fucker's able to get his hands on things early. But other than like maybe a minor flaw, actually no, this figure has no flaws. I find this to be a perfect figure. It's great for finally having a figure of the Fallen that isn't the shitty little fucking spider monster from the Revenge of the Fallen movie. So, you know what? 10 out of 10. I would buy this, but good luck with those tariffs. Anyway, if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe and comment. And if you didn't like this video, well, then you're a liar, and I hope your parents get divorced, and it's all your fault.